Welcome back. This section is going to help you with the 7.9C section. 7.9C is the one that says map it out, and it's got all these crazy shapes all over it. Okay, 7.9C is composite figures, finding the area of composite figures. And what composite means is more than one shape smushed together, and you have to find the shape of that. Okay, so let's start. Number 4. Number 4 says, Mr. Pacquiao is planting flowers in a new part of his front yard. Determine the area of the flower bed. Okay, so this is what we were working on right before we got out. This is what I believe you took a quiz over on Monday when you were here, but we're gonna review it some more. Okay, so both of these have the same measurements. One's not meters and one's not inches. They're both in feet, okay? What do we know? We know that this shape right here is a rectangle. And what do we know about rectangles? That the opposite sides are the same. So that if this side is 22 feet, so is this side. Therefore, if this side is 8 feet, so is this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and put 8. This, if I were to continue this, is a semicircle. It's part of a circle. It's not the entire thing. So we need 2 formulas for this. And I have attached your formula charts, or I put your formula charts inside your packets that are going home. And you also have them in the front of your journals if you still have those. Okay, so the 2 formulas we're going to need are area of a rectangle, which is base times height, and area of a circle. Okay, just wanted to make sure I told you the right formula instead of just remember it in my head like I told you for the last 2 weeks. Don't just think you remember it in your head. Look at that chart. Make sure you have the right one. So area of a circle is A equals pi r squared. So that's the other one we're going to write. Pi r squared. Okay, base times height. Remember I said that you've been learning that for years and you've been learning it as length times width. So at this point, we are just looking at our rectangle. We're not looking at the semicircle. And in our rectangle, we see 2 numbers. We see 22 feet and we see 8 feet. Those are the 2 numbers that we are going to use for our base and our height. And again, it's base times height, so it's 22 times 8. 2 times 8, 16, carry the 1. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 1, 17. So the area of this part is 176 feet. Okay, now I need to know the area of the semicircle. Well, this is the formula for area of an entire circle. I only have part of a circle, so that means I need to take my area of a circle and divide it by 2 or split it in half. We talked a whole lot about pi. The number for pi is 3.14. R stands for radius. From one side of the circle to the other is the diameter. So radius is half of that. So what's half of 8? Half of 8 is 4. So we do 4 squared. I'll say that again. This is a diameter. It goes from one side to the other. Radius is from the center to the outside. So radius is half of the diameter. So I took 8 and I divided it by 2 in half and got 4 squared. Then I'm going to divide by 2 again. So the first thing we need to do is 4 squared. So we keep 3.14. 4 squared is 4 times 4. So 16 goes here, not 8. A lot of times y'all say 4 times 2. That's not right. It's 4 times 4. So that's 16. And then we divide by 2. You can do this first if you want. Instead of multiplying, I'm going to divide first because it's easier. So 3.14. And what's 16 divided by 2? That's right, 8. So we're going to do 3.14 times 8. So 3.14 times 8. Okay, 4 times 8, 32. Carry your 3. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. So put the 1, carry the 1. 8 times 3 is 24. 24 plus 1, 25. Remember, count how many are behind a decimal, and right now I have 2 behind, so start here, and 1, 2. So the area of the semicircle is 25.12, but I want to know the total area, okay, the area of the entire flower bed, and that's the shape of the entire flower bed. So to find the total area, I have to say 176, since this has 2 decimals, I'm going to make this have 2 decimals. 176 plus 25.12. You add them together, bring down your decimal and adding. 6 plus 5 is 11, 9, 10. Your total surface area of your flower bed is 201 and 12/100 feet. Okay? I think I gave you this one in our packets that we were doing in class, but we're going to do it again. Jared, so shout out to Jared Mullen, even though it's spelt wrong. Still, this is about you. Jared is putting tile on his kitchen floor. The kitchen is rectangular with a length of 16 feet and a width of 14 feet. Okay, so the kitchen floor, so all this gray is the kitchen floor. It says it has a length of 16 feet and it has a width of 14 feet. Okay, it says then the island, so the part in the center that's white, has a width of 2.5 feet and has a, put it in the wrong spot. The width is up here. So this should be 2.5, and then the length is 5 feet. Determine the amount of tile needed for the kitchen. Excluding means to take away. We don't want to put flooring underneath the island. That's just a waste of money if we put floor underneath the island, okay? So that's just going to go straight on the concrete, not onto the tile. All right, so what we have to do is find the area of both. Both of these are in the shape of a, you got it, rectangle. So both of these are going to be area equals base times height. I'm going to do the other one here. Okay, so this one is for the kitchen floor, and this one is for the island. Okay, the kitchen floor's measurements are 14 times 16. So 14 times 16. 4 times 6 is 24, carry the 2. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 2 is 8. Scratch, scratch, lay your egg. 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 1 is 1. Add all these together. Okay, so the area of the whole kitchen floor, even underneath the island, if we were to put tile, is 224. So now we need to find the area of the island. And so we are going to do 5 times 2.5. 2.5 times 5. So 2.5 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. That's 10, 11, 12. We have 1 behind the decimal. So the area of the island is 10.5. But it says I want to exclude the island. And exclude is a fancy word for subtract or take it away. So since this has a decimal, I'm going to make this have a decimal. So 224.0 minus, that is a terrible job of lining up. And I always graph at y'all for that. Minus 10.5. We're going to take away. I need to borrow. So then I have 10 minus 5, which is 5. Bring down my decimal. 3 minus nothing is 3. 2 minus 1 is 1. 2 minus nothing is 2. So the area or the square foot of the island is 213.5 or 213 and 5/10 square feet.